You have probably heard of the Big Bang as the event that gave rise to our universe. You might know most cosmologists believe it occurred some 13.8 billion years ago. It's hard to fathom that at the moment of the Big Bang, all of the energy in the universe, some of which would later become galaxies, stars, planets, and human beings, was concentrated into a tiny point, smaller than the nucleus of an atom. And it's not just matter that was born in the Big Bang. In the view of modern cosmologists, matter and space and time all began when that microscopic point suddenly expanded violently and exponentially. But how did this Big Bang work? How can something come from nothing? Let's explore what we know. The universe is everything from the tiniest particles to the largest galaxies, to the very existence of space, time, and all life. The origin of the universe is the origin of everything. The idea that the universe was suddenly born and is not infinite. Up to the middle of the 20th century, most scientists thought of the universe as infinite and ageless, until Einstein's theory of relativity gave us better understanding of gravity, and Edwin Hubble discovered that galaxies are moving apart from one another in a way that fits previous predictions. In 1964, by accident, cosmic background radiation was discovered, a relic of the earlier universe, which together with the other observational evidence made the Big Bang the accepted theory in science. Since then, improved technology like the Hubble telescope has given us a pretty good picture of the Big Bang and the structure of the cosmos. Recent observations even seem to suggest that the expansion of the universe is accelerating. First of all, the Big Bang was not an explosion. It was all a space stretching everywhere all at once. The universe started very small and quickly expanded to the size of a football. The universe didn't expand into anything. A space was just expanding into itself. The universe cannot expand into anything because the universe has no borders. There is by definition no outside the universe. In this hot, dense environment, energy manifested itself in particles that exist only for the tiniest glimpses of time. Today things are largely made up of atoms, but hundreds of seconds after the Big Bang, it was too hot for electrons to join atomic nuclei to make atoms. Instead, the universe consisted of swirling sea of subatomic matter. A few seconds after the Big Bang, it was hotter still, hot enough to overpower the forces that usually hold protons and neutrons together in an atomic nuclei. Further back, microsecond after the Big Bang, and the protons and neutrons were only just beginning to form from quarks, one of the fundamental building blocks of the standard model of the particle physics. Further back still, and the energy was too great even for the quarks to stick together. From gluons, pairs of quarks were created, which destroyed one another, perhaps after giving off more gluons. These found other short-lived quarks to interact with, forming new quark pairs and gluons again. Matter and energy were not just theoretically equivalent. It was so hot they were practically the same stuff. Somewhere around this time, matter won over antimatter. Today we are left with almost all matter and nearly no antimatter at all. Somehow 1 billion and 1 matter particles were formed for every 1 billion particles of antimatter. Instead of one massive ultimate force in the universe, there were now several refined versions of it acting under different rules. By now, the universe has stretched to 1 billion kilometers in diameter, which leads to a decrease in temperature. The cycle of quarks being born and converted back to energy suddenly stops. From now on, we work with what we have. Quarks begin forming new particles, hadrons, like protons and neutrons. There are many combinations of quarks that can form all sorts of hadrons, but only very few are reasonably stable for any length of time. After the beginning of everything, the universe, which has grown to 100 billion kilometers, is now cold enough to allow most of the neutrons to decay into protons and form the first atom, hydrogen. Imagine the universe at this point as extremely hot soup, 10 billion degrees Celsius, filled with countless particles and energy. Over the next few minutes, things cooled and settled down very fast. Atoms formed out of hadrons and electrons, making for a stable and electrically neutral environment. Some call this period the Dark Age because there were no stars and the hydrogen gas didn't allow visible light to move around. When the hydrogen gas clumped together after millions of years and gravity put it under great pressure, stars and galaxies began to form. Their radiation dissolved the stable hydrogen gas into a plasma that still permeates the universe today and allows visual light to pass. Finally, there was light. What happened right at the beginning? This part can be defined as the beginning. We don't know at all what happened here. At this point, our tools break down. Natural laws stop making sense. Time itself becomes wibbly-wobbly. To understand what happened here, we need a theory that unifies Einstein's relativity and quantum mechanics, something countless scientists are working on right now. But this leaves us with lots of unanswered questions. Were there universes before our own? Is this the first and only universe? What started the Big Bang, or did it just occur naturally? Based on laws we don't understand yet. We don't know, and maybe we'll never will. But what we do know is that the universe as we know is started here and gave birth to particles, galaxies, stars, the earth, and of course you.